Good afternoon, teacher. My name is Natalia Gonzalez Abarca, and this opportunity explains summary graphic organizer TEFL assessment stand embracement. My person, I talk about the topic stand based introduction. The main idea, the purpose is to identify the most important skill, correctly assess a student, including giving appropriate feedback and using appropriate material for lesson, and emphasizing what a student need to know, understand, and do. The relationship of this topic is this is very useful as in three main skills, for example, reading, writing, and speaking, because we can put our skill into practice and also develop what they have learning. The other topic is STEM based assessment. The main idea is create a comparison between the student proficiency with a set a stand that are already established. The relationship of this topic is this evaluation can be very effective, but the objective and the skill are not from the beginning. Therefore, the learning process is already configured to be followed and achieved efficiently.
Hello everyone, my name is Claudia Elizabeth Rodriguez, and right now I'm going to talk about learning standards. The main idea of learning standards is that are content standards, performance standards, and learning competency. Our summary about learning standards is that are elements that set what students should know and what students should be able to do at the end of the course or even at the end of the grade level. Our reflection is that this standard can help the teacher in the design of the activities and the techniques to develop their classes. Why? Because this standard set the essential knowledge and also integrate the 21st century skills. Now, talking about the advantages of SBA, the main idea of these advantages is that this provides clearer parameters to students through the nomenclature on their performance in the language, as if the students are so proficient and on the areas that each of these students need to improve. Now, our summary about SBA is that it's the process in which the teacher marks the performance of students, and it involves teacher from the beginning to the end, such as assessment planning, objectives, and granting of assessment judgments. And a reflection about advantages of SBA is that students will be able to identify the areas in which they need to work and the areas in which they need to improve to reach the requirement level of proficiency, provide adequate information to students regarding their performance. Now, my classmate will continue with the information. Thank you so much.
Hello, this is Manuel Gardo Hernandez speaking, and today I am going to talk about standards-based assessment creation. Let's start by saying the main idea first, okay? The first one, it is going to take a look of your school graduate profile. Then you need to include your own values as an educator. The learning process, it is going through yourself to yourself and inside the classroom. Okay, so now let's go ahead for the summary. Assessing the quality of student work, it is an important part of a teacher role as a professional. Not only it is important to evaluate students' work accurately, but it's also vital to offer students feedback so that they can enhance their academic skill and performance. Finally, a standards-based assessment offers an build a stronger foundation and core for the teaching and learning. And now I'm going to say my reflection. By doing the standards-based assessment, you can be more secure that what are you doing in the classroom is straight to what's most important. A strong feedback developed it is being with you and your students, permitting them to check and improve their work more deeply and effectively. Now, let's talk about the second point. It is the video CEFR and language assessment. Well, the main idea of this it is a flexible English test that was developed by language experts at the British Council. It provides results based on the CEFR for each skill test. So now let's talk about the summary. CEFR is a language standard that describes the ability of English language learning in speaking, reading, writing, and listening divided three tiers of two levels each one, and each level describes what a learner can do in each level. So now my reflection could be it is a really important tool used to identify the needs and access to a learner while it's learning the second language. Also, CRF is used to develop learning materials such as syllabus and course. So basically that would be all for me. Thank you very much for paying attention.
Hello, this is Mejia Rivas Fatima Rocio speaking. I'm going to continue with the topic of assessing general language proficiency. The main idea of this is that exists three different ways to assess general language proficiency. And in summary, the three ways to assess the general language proficiency is first one is to test each skill with questions that imitate real life. The second way is to test through a series of tasks in which different skills interact with one another. The third way is to test with questions based on common core. My reflection of this is to assess the general language proficiency of someone. A short limited test isn't enough because just one test is focused on different skills, so we have to assess all skills. Then the next topic is approximately a lot of time to move from one level to the other and general considerations. So the main idea the main purpose of the algorithm is basically to measure what are the adequate times to go from one level to another one. In summary, it's important to take into account when passing from one level to another that will help you out to determine whether they are prepared or not to go further one level, or if you just have to wait for a little bit. My reflection is that always take into account that everybody is different and students can take less or more time to some other. That is why we always have to adequate this period of time depending on how well they are processing in their learning process. So my partner is going to continue.
Hello, licenciada Ana María Martínez. I'm Jasmine Cecibel Alfaro Perez. I am a member of group number 8, and in this opportunity I'm going to give you a brief explanation about international benchmark, especially in the first 5 exams. So I think that it is very important that the measure of our English level at the end of a course, and also get orientation about our mistake in the exam. The first 5 exams that our classmates share in the class have a lot of similarity in the aspect that they are refers to certain specific age, and also that many of the students who decide to take this exam take in their country as a foreign language. So one example is Young Learner English. This exam is designed assess the language skills of children age 7 to 12. The Cambridge exam English JLE exams are able at the 3 levels that are started, movers, and flyers. These 3 levels are for this exam. Another example of benchmark exams are TEFL primary, that is similar. It is a digitally delivered test of English speaking proficiency for young students to various levels of English language. This is composed of 7 to 10 questions, and the time for this TEFL primary is 20 minutes to develop that exam. That is the time because it is for children. And that's it.
Hello, Sandra Cepeda is speaking, and I talk a little about some benchmark. The first is TOEIC Bridget test. It is a test English used as a regular TOEIC test and is used for people with lower level English skill. It means that beginners to lower intermediate level range. The next is TOEIC. It means that assess a person's ability to cope with the demands of real life, succeeding in an international environment, and is used for people for all levels. It means to beginners and to advanced. Now, the TOEIC is typically used for employment purpose, as I said before, contain business and academic English, and there are 2 separate parts of the TOEIC test, that is a listening and reading and a speaking and writing. However, the TOEIC Bridget test is used for people with lower level English language skill, contains every English with slow down speaking, and there are 2 parts focus, that is a listening and reading. The next benchmark is Cambridge test, that is a depth exam that makes learning English enjoyable, effective, and rewarding. This continuous progression with a clear path to improve language skill, and the relevant part of the exam are reading, writing, use of English, speaking and listening, and is established by 6 levels of competencies, and also divided in basic, intermediate, and advanced level. The next benchmark is the Association of Language Testers in Europe, by the acronym ALTE. Is a group of leading European language testing organizations and is similar to CASAS because it's focused in the skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And the last one is CASAS is a comprehensive educational assessment system that makes sure to identify competencies of local educational programs and provide information about student progress and their competency. Now, this benchmark is designed for all student educational and including English language learners.